Hello guys, welcome to Dera's portfolio. So this is a full breakdown on the accounts on the trade that I took on GU that I lost $1,600 in less than 30 minutes. All right, let's get down to it. First thing first, I needed to find the direction of the market. And you guys know me, I don't play with my direction because obviously it tells me everything I need to know about market movement. So what gave me a tell that NFP is going to be bearish? First is the fundamental behind it, and secondly is the technicality of the market. So first thing first, we saw this drop. We saw the drop right here that cleared out a very substantial low in the market. This was the change of character right here that dropped a very substantial low in the market, and this was a very huge imbalance. Don't worry, my chart looks messy whenever I'm doing a trade breakdown, so just bear with me. This was a very huge imbalance right here, and I know that the market was technically, every time the market creates a very huge imbalance, it fills up either 60 to 80% of that imbalance before reversing to the opposite direction. This right here is a gem you should actually check out. Let me give you another example. Look at this right here. This is a very huge imbalance right here. Can you see how the market filled up 60 to 80% of it before going in the other direction? This also is an imbalance, and can you see how the market filled up what? 60 to 70% of it. If you go back to your chart and you check all of these things that I'm saying, you don't just listen to me, fact check and see if it actually works. Okay, so here is another imbalance, and here is another imbalance. This got filled 60 to what? 80%, and this particular one right here also got filled what? 60 to 80%. But let's not digress. I'm not here to teach you trading. I'm here to do a trade breakdown that would help you become better by 1% every day. So if you have watched this far of this video, please do well to subscribe to my YouTube channel, as I'll be dropping more of these videos to help you in your day-to-day trading activities. Also do well to follow me on Instagram, and also follow me on X at Dera Portfolio. All right, so let's get back to the chart. All right, so first thing first, I saw the huge imbalance, and I saw the market fill up that imbalance right there. And immediately the market filled up the imbalance, the next thing on the list was what? Where would the market react from? And obviously we had two zones right here that the market could have reacted from. First zone is this one right here, and the second zone was the one that had a cluster of liquidities around it. Okay, and one thing you should understand is once we are getting close to a high impact news, majority of the time market looks for the most closest key levels or the most closest zones or POIs to react from. It doesn't go far. If it's reacting from a very close one, it is now moving to a very distant one to continue the rest of the week or the rest of the day from. Because so what do I mean? This is too far right here. This is the closest, and this is also too far, right? So since the market is already in between, the most logical behavior, which I have observed over and over again in my 4 years of trading the financial market, is that it would most likely take the most closest and then reach out to whichever one is further, especially in the direction that it is set to go for the week. Okay, so in here the market used the closest one, and what did it do? It dumps down to the one that is what? Much further. And you might see that from next week we might have a reaction out of this area, probably a pullback to here, and then we can continue going downwards. That was the second idea or ideology I had about the market. So after I pinpointed my reaction zone, these are the things that help me pinpoint zones. This is just a trading experience that's supposed to help you become better. Okay, so there are going to be different things that I'll be saying in all my videos, so always make sure you pay attention. It's not just a one-time repeatable process. It's something that you have to put together in order to understand markets. All right, so once I decipher that, oh, this area is most likely the zone that is going to be used, the next thing on my list was to what? Start looking for entry options or entry criteria or POIs that I could sell off of. So I went down to the lower time frame. I first stopped at the 1 hour time frame to observe what is happening around that area. Permit me to delete all of this so we can see a cleaner chart. All right. So I went down to the lower time frame, and what is the first thing that I observed? First thing first, we had a couple of POIs that stand out. We had this return block. This entire zone is a return block to me, right? And also you can see another block, the last opposing candle before the new direction, right? So that's another block. And then another thing we could see was a head and shoulder in between. So this was a very vital key area. You see how I used 3 different POIs from 3 different schematics of strategies from different people or persons, to get a confluence, a very strong confluence to determine that, oh, this is an area that I'm supposed to sell off of, right? That is how a trader is supposed to be. You don't just have to be sticking to one methodology, right? You have to be very, very open to see these things. All right, so next thing on the list, I was like, okay, so this has confirmed that this area has a very strong point or a very strong return and reaction zone that I can actually take a sell from. Now I had to go down to a lower time frame, 30 minutes, to make sure that all these things that I'm seeing, there is what we call time frame alignment or time frame confirmation. All these things that I'm seeing on the 1 hour is still clear enough here, and you can see it very cleanly. We have head and shoulder. We have a return block, which is this entire 2 block here. This 1, 2, and 3. This entire block here is our return block. And then we had a resistance sitting at the top, and I also had another block obviously in the middle of everything. I was like, cool. Now, where did I mess up? My mess up started when I had to do my SL placement. Now, obviously, I could have decided to do this here, take a trade here, put my entry here, and I would still even be stopped out, right? Or do my SL here. I could have lied and say, oh, I caught this trade. This was a very massive move. This was a very big win. But I love being transparent as a person and also a trader, because I can lie to everybody, but I cannot obviously lie to myself. 1,600 left my pocket, and this is why. So for my SL placement, I usually do use tight stop losses, but in this case, it went against me instead of my favor, instead of being in my favor. So here, when the market came to this zone, it triggered me in. Let's put it back where it's supposed to be. The market triggered me in. The market triggered me in perfectly. Now, why did my stop loss actually stop at this top? Why exactly did I put my stop loss at this area? At this area right here. Now, at this area right here. Now, the reason I put the stop loss there is obviously because it is the last point where all this sell side liquidity was resting. It's the last point where all this volume is resting. And I didn't expect the market to snipe it. I didn't expect the market to take it off, because obviously it's NFP. It comes fast and goes fast. So I didn't expect the market to take it out. But then again, that happened. Market took it out and then dumped almost 1:10, right? Market took it out and then dumped almost 1:10, and that was how I lost the trade, right? This is the trade right here. This is the trade right here. That was how I lost the trade. It's so painful, but it's good. It's cool. I've been winning. So a loss is good. It keeps you in check. Also, if you want to join this community, all you have to do is click the link in the description, either on my Twitter page or on my Instagram page, which is Dera Portfolio, which is the same thing, use the same username as my YouTube. Just click on it and you will join the group. All right, so that is that, and that is how I was able to lose $1,633. I hope you guys don't be like me. All right, this is Chidera Trades. This is Dera. See you guys on the next one. Do well to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and turn on your post notification. I drop trade review every day, and this helps to become 1% better. One love.